Hello, everybody. My name is Mary Steinbrecher, and for my genre analysis project, I decided to explore what makes up good writing in the music theory discourse community. To do this, I read 3 different academic articles within the music theory discourse community, and I decided to interview a couple faculty members. So, the first thing that I was very concerned with when starting this project is what exactly is the music theory discourse community. So I decided to interview Dr. Brian Felix and Dr. Christine Boone, who are not only professors of our department, but also have written published articles within the music theory community and are very knowledgeable on the subject. From my research from reading the 3 articles and my interviews, I found that there was 2 main things that constituted good writing within the music theory discourse community. The first was the use of vocabulary. So just like in every academic discipline, the music theory discipline follows suit with its own genre-specific vocabulary. So that vocabulary ranges from more commonly known things like notes, chords, and time signatures, which one might know if they play an instrument or were in high school band. But once you get more into the academic community and you start actually reading music theory discourse community papers, it is understood that one would know what things like tonality is, 64th notes or semi, hemi, demi, semi-quaver, and what things like this are, which is actually a spiral array. So, along with their use of genre-specific vocabulary, the other main thing that I found was their use of evidence. Usually evidence in the music theory community is in the form of sheet music. And this follows suit with one of the articles I read by Kleppinger. So this is an example from his article, and he says, the vocal melody descends through 1-5-1 and E flat, reflecting its text bending from the sky. So in the music theory community, it is understood that one would know how to read music before they would be going in to read this article. So it's very interesting that he would explicitly state the obvious, because if you can read music, you would be able to understand that that is exactly what it is within that key. But Kleppinger does this in order to translate this into words to be able to connect 2 very different ideas together. And it makes it easier for one to see what would not be just the obvious of reading the sheet music. So, when music theorists are writing about pieces or topics that don't have sheet music, they have to be a little creative. Sometimes they will make their own transcriptions, meaning they will listen to a piece and they will actually write out the sheet music for it. But when that doesn't make sense, they will do other things, like they will create graphs and they will create tables. Not that type of table, but this type. So in Osborne's article that I read, he talked about this idea called terminally climactic forms. So what he could have done is transcribed out this song, which is a dashboard confessional song, and had pages and pages of sheet music and going through marking each place. But it made more sense to make it a table, to clearly show his idea of form, since it wasn't about the little nitty-gritty notes, it was more about the overarching form. So, as a whole, from doing my project, I found that when one wants to talk about an abstract topic or something that's a little bit hard to talk about, that's not necessarily easy in words, they have to have a very good understanding of their audience in order to become an interpreter of these ideas that might not exactly be super explicit or might not exactly have a form of words. Thank you.
Thank you.